Okay, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you today? Good?
Yes.
How are you?
Fine.
Fine. Thank you. Okay. For this last part of the course, today I will introduce you to this last topic that is called experiment design. So you can copy as a title experiment design. Okay? This is going to be the new topic. And Chris, can you help me with the objective, please?
The student will be able to identify dependent, independent, and control variable through real examples.
Okay, so what is the main purpose of today? Is just to identify the main variables that have to do with the experiment design. And as this name says, are three: dependent, independent, and control variables. Okay? So let's say some ideas in order to develop an experiment design. Okay, at first, Ethan, can you tell me what is the purpose of any given experiment?
To get a conclusion about a problem we want to find out.
To get a conclusion about a problem and
About the problem we want to find out.
okay, good. To get a conclusion. So to get a conclusion, okay, we need to clarify some ideas before. Okay, Omar, can you help me with that? Tell me some ideas to get a conclusion about a problem. How can you get that conclusion?
Well, first you would need to create a hypothesis for your experiment,
Okay.
and then gather data for experiments, and compare your hypothesis with the data that you gain, and see if the data that you have is like has to do with the hypothesis. Like this is correct.
Okay. So we need to develop an hypothesis. Okay, Constanza, question?
Follow, no, I was saying another,
Okay.
like
go ahead.
follow the scientific method.
To follow that scientific method. And Omar, thank you Omar, thank you Constanza, good contributions. It's good to say, and it's going to be clear that sciences in general follow the scientific method. And there is one thing to be called a scientific method. What is that? Omar just said that. Just said that, sorry. Florencia. To formulate what? We need to formulate a hypothesis. And what is the meaning of a hypothesis? Who can help me with that?
Definition?
And the definition?
A statement.
A statement?
That might happen.
An idea which you want to prove.
An idea?
Do you think that that would
An idea that you want to prove. And the main, what is the main objective of an hypothesis? Diego?
Like an assumption.
You cannot assume. You try to prove, actually. You try to prove. Something to complement that Diego's idea? We're just placing some ideas here in the whiteboard. Don't worry. Okay, just said, solution, we need to find a solution by analyzing data, following the scientific method, establishing one big idea. Okay, just to be clear, a hypothesis is needed to prove that something is wrong or right. And I'm saying that it's wrong or right because in terms of sciences, it's not possible to say that something is right or wrong. It's just, if it's according and matches with the hypothesis, or if it doesn't match at all with the hypothesis, it's good too. So the main objective is to prove. And we need to do some steps to follow. In order to prove that hypothesis or that method or that process is the same. Okay? So, let's list some variables that could be measured in the lab.
Temperature.
Good. Some variables. Okay, I'm going to put this as possible variables.
Weight.
Okay, Florencia just said, thank you, Florencia.
No.
Temperature. Okay, so give me one unit to measure temperature.
Kelvin. Celsius.
Kelvin. Okay, Celsius, that must be converted to Kelvin, as we just studied in the previous contents. Temperature, Celsius and Kelvin. Another one?
Weight. Scientific
Volume.
reaction.
Okay. Thank you, Alice. Volume. Please, Alaya, give me one unit to measure volume.
Liters.
Liters. Nice. 3.
Mass. Polarity.
Okay, gotero. Más.
¿Quién es Sotero? Así como no tengo lo nervioso.
No, bueno, yo solo que estoy teniendo el mundo de clase. Sí, okay, but once again. Okay, once we finish this experiment, we need to identify the two variables. And then, please, throw it. Okay? If you want to measure the distance, what will be the direct variable that is associated to the distance? So it could be force. Another one?
Mass.
Huh?
Velocity.
Velocity. Another one? But what will be the variable that doesn't change? Thank you, Frank. What will be the distance that doesn't change at all?
The mass of the marker.
What's happening with this? Is time. So time doesn't change. So we can establish here a big idea that time is the independent variable in this process. Time. And what is the unit to measure time? Seconds. The dependent variable, you need to establish the dependent variable. So for this one, I'm going to say that the dependent variable will be distance. Okay? Okay, distance in meter. So you can formulate a hypothesis, and say the more time you need to cover the distance, the more what? The more force you need is one hypothesis. So you need to develop on those two variables, okay, one big statement. And that big statement will be your hypothesis. The more this, or another one, the more time covered, the more distance that this marker covers too. Is it clear? So there is another concept that is called control variable. Okay, the control variables, and I'm going to put this in plural form because could be several. The control variables are the ones that you can control. And what would be a possible variable that you can control, Mariana, in this process? In this same process? Force.
The mass of the marker.
The mass of the marker. Mass. Yeah, you can change a marker with a different brand.
yes.
Yeah. Another one? Force. Another one? Huh? Weight, which is the mass, and what the unit for mass? Gram, force, Newton. This concept we're going to study force in physics next semester. Another one?
The height and which is
Okay, maybe the material. Maybe if we change the classroom, your result will be different. The humidity in the environment. Okay? Also, the person. If I ask you, for instance, to Jimena, and Jimena tried to reply this same process, the result will be different too. Okay? So you can list as many as you want, person. And those are going to be called control variables. Is it clear? Just to, once again, to clarify and to define the ideas. Dependent variable. How can we define dependent variable? Omar?
By seeing what variable is affected by independent variable.
By the independent variable. So this one is affected by the independent one. Okay, so Ethan, can you establish a definition of independent variable, please?
A variable that doesn't change according to the other variable.
According to the other variable. That's why I say to you, okay, you are putting the input, the x, and the result must be in y. So then, in the next class, I'm going to explain to you how can you correlate those two types of variables in order to obtain a graph. But at first, we need to clarify, we need to identify the variables that are in any given experiment. Okay. And control variables, just to finish this part before I erase Diego Donde, how can you define control variables? Use your own words, please.
And the variables that you can change.
The variables that you can change along the experiment. Okay?
Yo tengo una pregunta. ¿Por qué why distance is affected by the time?
By the time, because the more time passes, the more distance is covered. At time 1, look, at time 0, what is the distance? 0. And then if you draw this, at time, for instance, 1, at time 1 there's going to be a distance covered. At time 2, there's going to be more distance. Okay? So once this process finishes, you get the total distance.
But only if it doesn't stop.
Only if it doesn't stop. But this is a closed process. Why is it a closed process? Because it has a beginning and also has an end. Okay? And you can obtain a graph using this process. Very nice, Jimena. Thank you. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Omar. May I erase? We're going to watch a video just to identify. And notice, it's important also to say that you need to establish the variables specifically for the experiment. Is it clear? At first, you need to study the entire experiment, and once you have studied that experiment, you're able to identify the variables. So in this next video, you're going to see another different experiment. ¿Quién me puede ayudar? Thank you, Mariana. Muchas gracias. Okay.
¿Qué son zapatos? Zapatos
Attention.
So, this is in high definition. We're covering our three main variables in science, which are our independent, dependent, and controlled variables. Let's get started. To explain these variables, there's a very simple experiment I'd like to demonstrate. Firstly, let's say that this is a running track, and we have our runner here, and he's going to run 100 meters. But each time he runs it, he's going to wear a different type of shoe. So we've got runners, casual shoes, and boots. And this is the thing that's going to change each time he runs this 100 meters. And this is called our independent variable. That's the thing that we're going to change each time he runs this experiment. So let's put his runners on first. We start the timer, he runs his 100 meters. We stop the timer, and we've got a time of 27.3 seconds. And this is the thing that we're measuring. The thing that we're measuring in the experiment is called our dependent variable. It depends on our independent variable. We've got a time of 27.3 seconds with his runners. We reset it back to the start. We put his casual shoes on. We start the timer. He runs 100 meters. And this time, he got a time of 30.2 seconds. So a little bit slower this time. We take him back to the start. We put his boots on. We start the timer. He runs 100 meters. We stop the timer, and this time we've got a time of 33.3 seconds, which was his slowest time.
So I think that with this example is clear that what would be the dependent variable for this example? Time. Okay? And what would be the independent variable, guys? Shoes. But we can't define that, okay? Because maybe, is it possible to use another independent variable? Of course, yes, of course. So, in this particular example, there are more than 2 independent variables. What happens if there is a change in the shoes? And what happens if the weather changes? Do you think that weather could affect the time?
Yes.
Yes. So?
Also, like how tired he is.
Also?
Like how tired.
Yes, how tired the person is. Also, if you change the subject, it's possible if you change the person who is going to be running.
He runs the fastest with his runners, followed by his casual shoes, and then he runs the slowest in his boots. But that's not everything to this experiment. There's a few other things that we need to consider. The first thing to consider is the weather. We need to make sure that the weather was kept the same each time he ran the 100 meters. If it was sunny when he was wearing his runners, but if it was raining when he wore the other shoes, that's not really a fair comparison because the weather could have had an impact on his ability to run. The clothing that he was wearing is also something that we need to consider. We need to make sure that he was wearing the same clothes every time he ran this 100 meters. If he was wearing running gear, wearing his runners, he had to be wearing running gear for the other ones as well. Otherwise, his clothing could have affected his time. Same with the surface. If he was running on concrete or wood or grass, we need to make sure that that was the same every time he ran this 100 meters, so that any difference in time was mainly just due to the shoes that he was wearing. That's what we're trying to achieve, an accurate and fair comparison between the types of shoes. Because these are the things that we're trying to control in this experiment, we call them controlled variables. And that's it for today's lesson. I hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I'll see you next time.
Okay? So, questions?
The weather is a control variable.
No, the question would be for you. Okay, Mariana, I'm going to ask this. Is it possible for you to change the weather?
No.
No. So that's why
Bueno, de tu parte sí.
okay. But in this particular example, it's not possible to change the weather. It's not a control variable. Maybe it can be, look, maybe it can be a control variable if you are up to decide if you want to run or not. Okay? You need to look in a different perspective. But the most important thing, just to clarify this question, the one that Mariana asked, is that you are going to design the experiment. Your variables, the process to develop, and also to look how many trials did this example have? 3. Also, you need to provide trials. Further, I'm going to explain the different elements that you need for a reliable experiment design, because you can bias people because you misunderstood the problem and your final result is not reliable. Okay? Mari?
Why aren't the shoes equal brand?
Why? Because you can control the brand, the size, the weight.
Aren't they?
Aren't.
They are, but they didn't say that.
Because once again, in this experiment, he said, okay, I'm going to put 3 variables. The first one that is going to be measured is the dependent, the one that I will record. Okay? 1. Then, independent variable, I'm going to say that are shoes. So, based on each pair of shoes is going to be a time. So, the time depends on the shoes. And this guy said, okay, what are going to be the control variables that I will use in this experiment? It's going to be the weather, if it's a sunny day and I decide to run. If it's a cloudy day and I'm not going to run. The things that I'm going to wear. If maybe are going to have a positive impact in my performance, and by doing that, I will be obtaining a very good or a better record of my time. Is it clear? So you need to put all the variables in order. Okay? Or maybe you can say, in my case, that is going to be like more realistic. Dependent time, independent. What would be the independent? Shoes, and another control variable that could be added to this process. If you change, once again, if you change the runner, if you change the place, the distance, it's going to be a different time. Okay? The independent and control variables, this affects directly the dependent one, and the control variables have to do with this one. In other words, also affect the dependent one. Is it clear? We are going to develop some experiments in the next classes that you will be able to understand more. Okay, so just to conclude this class, if we want to establish a big definition of the experiment design, I'm going to ask Ethan, come here, Omar, come here. Please use your own words to define experiment design, and Omar, use your own words to define what a control, dependent, independent, and variables are. Okay? Look, while Omar is doing this, I'm going to ask you, just in pairs, we have 5 minutes, just to synthesize this session. You're going to think about a problem, and you will list a control, a dependent, and a dependent variable in pairs. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. It's going to be easy, okay? Just think about the problem, and you have to provide 1 dependent, 1 independent, and 1 control variable. Okay? And then we're going to synthesize the concepts. 2 minutes, guys. We have 4 minutes more. verify if you understood the meanings, okay? ¿Sí? ¿Qué quieres pedir? Eso es lo que vas a pedir. Entonces vas a pedir the physical comparison or the weight, the mass that a person gains in a month or years.
Eso o dieta, no como proteína, pero una dieta. Control, cambia el volumen de una persona.
También lo puedes pedir. Size. You have to define what is going to be your goal. Maybe you need to start with that. Once again, did you finish? Yes. Try to make it easy. The easier the better. Yes. Once you finish, don't worry. 3 minutes more. Voy. ¿Tú qué quieres decir? La que vas a hacer va a ser tu tema. Okay, guys, please, we also have 3 minutes more. Okay, just to synthesize the content. Please, Constanza and Adriana, just to synthesize the content. Attention. Okay, please. Silence. Just to synthesize the content. You're going to give me 2 examples. I will select randomly 2 teams. Okay? Please, Alexandra, can you tell me about your problem and also your variables, please? Just to verify if you understood muscle. Good. So the more time, the more muscle. That's the relationship. Very good. Just to finish, to check comprehension, alignment. Can you tell me about your example, please?
The time that it takes you to lose weight.
The time that it takes to lose weight. Okay.
With a diet.
With a diet. What is your dependent variable?
No control. Meals.
Meals.
Exercise.
Okay, meals and exercise is are your control variables. Okay. Independent.
Weight, age, height.
Weight, age, height, and
My dependent, time, meals, and self-control.
time. Important there. You cannot repeat. Okay. Just to clarify, you cannot repeat. If it's dependent, it's dependent. If it's independent, just
But I didn't repeat.
no, just control. In the control would be. Okay. So, just to once we check comprehension, please, Alexandra, help me with the control, the definition to finish this session.
These variables are the variables that you must control in order for your data to be accurate. They are the dependent variables.
Okay, independent. Andrea.
Independent?
Yes.
The variable that change and directly affects the dependent variable.
Okay, and finally, Mariana, please, dependent.
The variable that is being measured and is being affected by the rest.
Okay, guys, so those are the three variables that we are going to identify in any given experiment. To finish, further applications, remember, at laboratory and also to formulate what? A hypothesis. Good. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Sí. Sí, no, porque ya sale del descanso, ya son 11:08. Mañana no tengo.
Gracias.